There's this quiet, incredibly common little dynamic playing out in our living rooms literally every single day. It's this invisible transaction happening between parents and kids, between partners, between friends, and it all centers around one of the most deceptively simple actions we do: listening. Or actually, scratch that, the illusion of listening. Because there is a very specific, almost imperceptible look that people give you, especially kids, when they realize you're not actually listening to them. And it's not a look of anger. It's actually something much worse.
Picture this. 7-year-old Arjun is standing right in front of you. He is totally animated, hands waving wildly, right in the middle of a story about a massive, highly important classroom event. In his world, this is breaking news. It involves a broken pencil, a super suspicious classmate, and what he absolutely insists was a straight-up crime. To Arjun, this is a high-stakes thriller, and he's eagerly handing over all the critical details, fully expecting his audience to be right there on the edge of their seat with him.
But his audience, his dad, is currently giving the absolutely perfect rhythmic hmms and wows and reallys at exactly the right intervals, all while surgically focused on a glowing screen of work emails. We've all been there, right? The classic autopilot nod. But Arjun is not fooled for a second. Kids have these incredibly precise built-in lie detectors totally calibrated for fake nodding. He sees that dad's physical body is in the room, sure, but his attention, miles away. So, a little mental file gets updated in his head. A file that simply reads, "Papa nods, but he doesn't hear."
So what happens? Arjun's animated hands just drop to his sides. He trails off mid-sentence, gives a little shrug, and just wanders away. He walks across the room to tell his stuffed elephant the rest of the story instead. Why? Well, because the elephant, to be completely fair, gives excellent eye contact. Arjun was looking for an active receiver, and when he didn't find one, he just redirected that energy to something that at least wouldn't pretend.
And here's the thing, this kind of tiny heartbreak, it doesn't happen all at once. It's not some big, dramatic blow-up. It happens in these tiny, almost invisible increments, story by story, moment by moment. It's the slow, quiet accumulation of those tiny updates to that mental file, a gradual drifting apart that's so incredibly subtle we almost never catch it while it's actually happening.
Because as the years gently drift by distracted, a really subtle transformation takes place. That wildly enthusiastic kid who used to narrate his entire lunch menu, who brought you every single minor victory and pencil-related injustice, he slowly ages. And he subtly ages into a teenager who just sits quietly. A teenager who, when you ask him how his day was, gives a solid one-word answer and basically stops telling you things altogether.
When we look back as parents, it feels so sudden. It looks like he just woke up one day and decided to grow distant. Like teenagers famously do, right? Except he didn't really grow distant on his own. He slowly learned a lesson. He got the message, gradually, over thousands of those fake nods, that his messages weren't actually going anywhere. He didn't stop wanting to talk. He just realized that nobody on the other end was actually receiving what he sent. Now fast forward a bit. Take this exact same dynamic and drop it right into adulthood. Picture two grown adults in this comically mirrored, overlapping argument about something as totally mundane as booking a cab. The stakes have changed, the people are older, but that underlying dynamic of not receiving, it's exactly the same. The overlapping dialogue is light, it's chaotic, and honestly, it's a scene almost every couple has lived through.
The words are just flying back and forth. You always do this. Well, I did it last time. But neither person is actually listening. They're literally just reloading their own arguments while the other person is talking, just waiting for their turn to fire back. It is exactly like two courtroom lawyers who prepare these magnificent, impassioned closing statements, but completely forgot to invite a judge to actually hear the case. No, you always do this. They are essentially having two entirely separate conversations that just happen to be taking place in the same room, at the exact same volume, at the exact same time. Nobody is absorbing a single word coming out of the other person's mouth. They're trapped in this echo chamber of their own defensive reactions, proving that failing to listen doesn't just silence teenagers, it actively fuels adult conflict.
Let's just slow right down for a second. Because half of the arguments in human history would resolve themselves in minutes if just one person softened their defensive posture and paused long enough to sincerely ask, wait, tell me what actually happened last time. And here's the absolute key, they have to actually mean it. Here's the twist no one sees coming going into an argument. Most fights don't actually need a winner. What they desperately need is someone to stop planning their clever comeback long enough to hear the other side of the story. Because that other side,
It contains vital information, context, feelings, missing details that you simply don't have yet. You just can't reach a resolution when you're operating with only half the facts.
Which brings us to what real listening actually is. It's not just waiting quietly for your turn to speak. It's the rare, slightly old-fashioned skill of actually receiving what someone is saying before you decide how to respond to it. And yeah, it is entirely unglamorous. It's kind of boring. It is definitely not going viral on LinkedIn. But this unglamorous magic, it is literally the only thing that turns a shouting match back into an actual conversation.
Look, whether it's a 7-year-old with a dramatic pencil crime or a partner who is just exhausted by a squabble over a cab, the underlying truth is exactly the same. The people in your life are constantly trying to hand you the pieces of their world. They're giving you the full picture, one sentence, one story, one frustration at a time.
All we have to do to maintain that connection is catch it. Just put the phone down. Skip the clever comeback for once. Let the defense rest. And just catch what they're giving you, fully and properly. Channel just a little bit of that stuffed elephant's energy, and be the person who actually receives the message.
It really just requires a shift in how we measure success in our relationships. So yeah, the version of you who truly deeply listens, you might end up winning far fewer arguments. But by sacrificing the need to be right all the time, you gain something infinitely more valuable. You keep the people who matter most still willing to share their lives with you. And honestly, isn't keeping them talking worth a whole lot more than just being right?